Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. I'm Chris. I'm here with Brian
What's going on?
and Jake.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk today about why y'all should not sleep on Risk of Rain 2. That game slaps. It is a great game. It just released on Early Access on PC, and we're going to talk all about it. I have played an extensive amount of it. Jake has played an extensive amount of it. Brian is going to play the role of Question Master. He's curious about the game. So we're going to talk all things Risk of Rain. But real quick, we are doing a giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. If you want more details, you can shoot a comment down on this video. I'd be happy to get back to you. Or you can check out our channel page where we have a video. In that video, the description will have the current list of games. But every 10 subs, we're handing out a Steam code. So thank you for your support. Risk of Rain 2. That game, man. I love it.
It is good.
So from the one video that I've seen of it on mute, it looks like No Man's Sky, except you're stuck on one planet and there's a ton of shit to do. Like,
You are
how far off is that?
very far off, I would say. Do
That's
you
not
agree,
even
Jake?
close.
But
So-
I like the attempt.
So yeah, Risk of Rain 2 is obviously, well, I guess I shouldn't say obviously, but it's a sequel to Risk of Rain, which is the original was a 2D roguelike game where you, to be honest, I don't really know what the story was. It's kind of sci-fi. You go through, you fight stuff, you go on to a new level every time, and the difficulty is always increasing. It's really good. Risk of Rain 2, it's 3D. To be perfectly honest, and Brian, you can correct me or echo this, but I think we all kind of had the same reaction when we first saw it, and the 3D looks pretty weird if you are kind of used to the original Risk of Rain, which was 2D. The art style it definitely echoes the original, but it kind of looks a little crap in the videos, to be honest. I don't know if you had the same impression, Brian.
Well, that's why I said No Man's Sky, because like it's that game has always looked a little bit unpolished, and this was like the movement was really weird, and like the character models were kind of odd, and like it was just strange.
Yeah, you and Jeremy
yeah.
kind of said you said this. You mentioned unpolished, and personally, I'm just gonna say it. Like the trailer sold me. I saw the trailer for this game. I didn't like Risk of Rain 1, and I was immediately like, this game looks sick. But I'm a sucker for roguelikes. So I'm going to throw it out there. The game runs really well, and I would say the game is not janky at all. Like, at all. I've had like one bug that I can think of.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm not saying when I say unpolished, I'm not saying that the game is inherently broken or it appears that it there's anything about it that's not going to work. It just looks like it doesn't look like something that someone spent $30 million on.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say your No Man's Sky comparison from that perspective is pretty fair, with the exception of No Man's Sky multiplayer breaks, and this one does not. But yeah, it's a similar vibe.
Yeah, and I'll say that I love the game, but I also have the same reaction Brian and Jeremy had at the beginning was the game looks a little trashy in the videos. I don't know what it is, because when you're actually playing it, it looks great, and it runs perfectly, like you said. So I don't know what it is about the video, but it just does not communicate how much fun the game really is.
Yeah. So 3 guys made this game, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, so it's definitely not a $30 million title, and it never will be. But, it's also early access, if we didn't mention. But it's a very well-polished early access game. Runs very well. Very complete.
So why does everybody love it? Right? Like there's everybody is going apeshit about this game. Like what is it that makes it so stand out?
Can I jump in on this, Jake?
Go for it.
All right. Feel free to pick up whatever I leave on the ground. So, I'm not sure if everyone here is familiar with roguelikes. It's a fairly small genre.
I am not.
Okay,
So-
yeah. So the idea of a roguelike is you do a bunch of runs, usually procedurally generated. In this case, they're semi-procedurally generated. But you do runs that last about an hour, and when you die, you go back to the beginning and you do another run, but you save some progress. So you unlock, so in Risk of Rain, for example, you can unlock characters during a run that you can then use on a future run. You can unlock items that you can then unlock in a future run. So you do a bunch of runs with the goal of making small amounts of progress in each run. And the benefit for roguelikes for people that are kind of older and maybe don't have a ton of time for games is you can have basically a full game experience where in about 40 minutes you can go from being totally underpowered, level 1 to a level 99 mafia boss for the memers out there. But you can be super powerful and then, either finish the game or die, and then the run restarts. And the goal of Risk of Rain is you go through teleporters. You find the teleporter on the planet, activate the teleporter, beat the boss, go through the teleporter, start on a new planet, wash, rinse, and repeat until you either complete the game or you die. And yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it.
Yeah, but what makes it so good? I mean, I know enough about roguelike games to know that they've been around since basically video games have been invented. So what makes this one so good?
So I think a lot. So Risk of Rain, the original, was very good, and it was different from a lot of the other roguelikes that are pretty popular, because the maps are not procedurally generated; they are standard. So it's not really like randomly. I don't know. That I think that's immediately more because they're a little more polished. You don't have to worry about kind of getting lost in the maps. You start to remember the layout pretty quickly. And it's not like you kind of go into a game underpowered. So if you think of a game like FTL, you kind of get dumped on continuously until you can afford to unlock a new ship or essentially buy your way into better things throughout the game. Whereas in Risk of Rain, like the only thing that really makes a difference besides the items is the characters, and they all are good. You can make it through all of the 4 levels that I think they have right now.
6, I think.
Pretty easily. So yeah, it's approachable. The fact that it's 3D makes it even more approachable. And me and Chris were talking about this just the other day, but it may be the first kind of big roguelike that offers multiplayer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but the multiplayer is great and a lot of fun.
So for me, the 3 things that make it hook. So I bought it thinking it was going to be kind of like Binding of Isaac, which is my favorite roguelike. That's like a top-down 2D, very single-player roguelike. This game has those elements that I love about Binding of Isaac. That's, again, like one run, 40 minutes. You go from underpowered to superpowered, and you'll have to adapt based on the items you get. But that multiplayer component is super fun, and it's fun. It is fun solo, but it's fun with anywhere from 2 to 4 players, and there's like a different element of fun depending on, you're always working to have the most optimized build. And that's the other thing, people who fell in love with I assume, because I didn't fall in love with World of Warcraft or anything like that, but people who did fall in love with World of Warcraft and went on raids and stuff and focused on min-maxing stats, there's a weird element of that involved where I'm gonna pick a tank who can do a lot of damage, Jake is gonna pick a support class who can heal me, and we're both gonna be communicating to maximize our damage either by sharing items or that kind of thing, which you've never really seen in a roguelike. And I think the 3D makes it really fun for a roguelike.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, in general, it's approachable. And I think that's what a lot of people are hooking on to.
So what is the gameplay like? Does it have shooter elements to it, or how does because obviously a lot of this is combat and stuff. How does all that work?
So that's all. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say there's 6 characters, I believe, at the moment, and they're all pretty unique. And in that, one character is all melee, one character is has only like not magic attacks, but attacks that have cooldowns. So like you can't just constantly shoot. One character you don't have to aim; it auto aims. You just have to be in the general vicinity. So there's a big mix, which is also nice in variety.
Yeah, but it is pretty much all combat, which, to be honest, is pretty consistent with the roguelike genre. It's all about fighting. There's not really a story to it. So the entertainment comes in the kind of uniqueness of every run, and also, like Chris said, the ability to kind of try out new things, build different ways, kind of see how powerful you get, see how close you can get to god status, and just stomp on everyone. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like there's not really a whole lot of parallels that you can draw to anything else that's out there, right?
Only other
Well-
roguelikes, I'd say.
yeah, and I think it's hard to kind of sell people on roguelikes because they're really simple games. I mean, you fight and then you die and you do it again. But for anyone that's interested, there's a lot of videos out there kind of talking about why roguelites are so addictive, and I definitely recommend checking them out because there's a lot of elements in there that are a lot of fun that you wouldn't really realize are kind of the pieces that make the game good. But they kind of, I don't know, there's just a lot of fun. Risk of Rain 2 is a really good implementation of a roguelike, and the fact that it's 3D and multiplayer makes it very, very approachable and a lot of fun with friends.
Cool. You good, Question Master?
Yeah, I mean I might actually buy this now. I was pretty cold on it, to be honest. But it looks interesting. It definitely sounds interesting. So we'll see.
All right, man. Do you want to wrap the video?
Yeah, sure. Well, if you describe yourself as roguelike, go ahead and let us know about that down on in the comments there. And like Chris said at the beginning of the video, we do have a ton of Steam codes to give away, so if you subscribe to this channel, you'll be automatically entered into a chance to win one of those Steam codes. And if you watched it this far, you probably liked the video, and you'll get updated with all of the other shit that we got going on here on the Cohesive Friendship Unit situation. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Brian. We'll catch you guys next time.